This Paladin profile is recent Furman graduate Kenia Flores.
So my name is Kenia Flores, and I graduated from Furman in 2020. I majored in politics and international affairs while I was at Furman, and I was involved with the Riley Institute Advanced Team for 3 years. I was in a sorority for part of my time at Furman, and I also worked at the Louisiana Center for Career Engagement.
What are you doing now?
Yeah, so right now I am actually a student. Again, I'm at the Louisiana Center for the Blind, and I've been doing a 9-month program in blindness rehabilitation and training. And so right now I'm actually applying for jobs because I'm graduating in March. And then as far as like the work that I do a lot of work with the National Federation of the Blind, and we focus on a lot of advocacy when it comes to people with disabilities. And one of the main distinctions within our organization is that we are actually blind people advocating for blind people. There's a lot of great organizations that are doing a lot of great work, but unfortunately, it is not coming from lived experiences of blind people. And so we really take the initiative to really advocate on our own behalf. So a lot of our work, we go to like Capitol Hill and meet with members of Congress and advocate for our legislative priorities multiple times a year. So that's a lot of where my advocacy is focused.
How has COVID-19 changed your daily life?
That's a really great question. So unfortunately, because of COVID, a lot of our work has been virtual. And so that's been really hard, especially because our big advocacy event called Washington Seminar is normally at the end of January or beginning of February. And it's honestly just super empowering. It's like 500 of our members. We call each other like federationists, or we call ourselves federationists as well. And we typically go to DC. And so unfortunately, all of that had to take place virtually. Our national convention was virtual last year, and then it's also going to be virtual this year. So it's been difficult, but it's also allowed us to reach a lot of people who ordinarily wouldn't be able to participate. And we've been able to grow our membership. And then COVID itself like has presented a lot of challenges for the disability community in general. Like as people, like for a lot of people with disabilities, like driving is something we're not able to do. And so like even just getting tested is such a hassle. I've had to get tested multiple times. Luckily, I haven't had COVID, but it's like a lot of places won't just let you walk up, even if they are a drive-through facility. And so that's been a really, really big issue because you also don't want to expose like rideshare companies. So if you take like Uber or Lyft, like you don't want to expose your driver to COVID. It's definitely been a challenge. Or like when you're in public and like you want to be socially distant from people, and you're like, okay, a lot of the markers are visual, like at grocery stores or just like wherever you may be. And so like a lot of times I'm like, okay, my cane is like 5 feet. So just add a little bit to that and like just stand away from people. But so it's definitely a little bit of a different way of kind of dealing with things, but we're doing well.
How do you think your time at Furman helped prepare you for life after graduation?
I would definitely say that my time at Furman really taught me to think critically, and also just be very innovative and really great at problem solving. Um, while that was something that I learned in the classroom, I also kind of learned it outside of it. Furman is great, but I definitely did face some accessibility barriers um, at Furman, but also just like during internship experiences or things that I did. And so I think one of the biggest and most important lessons that I learned during my time at Furman was that I'm my own greatest advocate and really learn to kind of speak up for myself and other people. Because when I first arrived at Furman, I was pretty quiet and I've always been more introverted, but I definitely would say that I grew up and kind of found my own voice during my time at Furman.
What advice do you have for current students hoping to make a difference after they graduate?
I would say to take every opportunity that you can. There are certainly things that I did that I didn't necessarily think that I would do, or things that were outside my comfort zone, but I can confidently say that I learned so much from them. And so even if you don't know if something's going to be a good fit or you're worried about failing, um, go ahead and try it, give it a chance. And at the very least, it's a really great learning experience for you.
Thank you for viewing this Paladin profile. For more information, visit www.thepaladin.news/diversity-matters. Know someone who's impacting community diversity and inclusion? Email helenaarts@furman.edu to let the Paladin know. That's HELENA.AARTS@furman.edu.